At first I thought Chris was just a lolcow, but now I think he, or someone he works with, made a pact with a demon. There's pig related, which can be brushed off as coincidence, but others have bought these medallions and have had downfalls of their own. First there's Nick Rekieta, who went from popular streamer and lawyer to despard and an alcoholic. Next there's iDubbz, who went from one of the most popular YouTubers to internet lolcow and kook. Am I just being schizo, or am I onto something? Narcissistic assholes that shit on others for entertainment get a taste of their own medicine. That's called karma. Sonichu Medallion reached critical mass in the collective unconscious and is now a full-fledged demonic entity. This is how new religions are born. There's nothing good in and around that man. Are you his manager? Did you put him up to this? Basically Sonichu and its derivatives are the images of the goetic demon Asteroth. Asteroth is the only demon that's described to have the physical traits of a hedgehog. Also, Asteroth is an offshoot of the Mesopotamian goddess Ishtar, who is said to be the origin of transgenderism. Chris is possessed by Asteroth and is being manipulated into spreading the demon's image around the world to let it feed on the souls of its victims. Didn't the gunt get a Sonichu Medallion as well? Gremory has the power of procuring love from women. Chris hasn't gotten any love from women besides his own mother, who has dementia. Either Gremory sucks at its job or the demon in question isn't Gremory. Asteroth, OTOH, is known for corruption and looking resembling a hedgehog. Asteroth is also connected to Ishtar, a Mesopotamian goddess that is the origin of transgenderism and other gender-related degeneracy. He's literally an antichrist. There was a thread on Chrischan on X a while back and someone pointed out his family had ties to Masonry. A lot of his story is controlled by glowies. He's some type of MK Ultra asset. Don't you find it weird Yanka had an obsession with him in trying to make him kill himself but ended up leaking he FCKED his mom? It sounds like a humiliation ritual of some sort to gain a stable life. I mean, look at him now, he just streams at home and gets paid for it, he doesn't do shit. This was posted almost a month ago, before people started calling attention to these coincidences. Heh, I was gonna make a thread to ask about the power of these Sonichu medallions. They're clearly mystical objects. Screenshot for Chrischan, his beliefs no doubt allowed him to reach certain spiritual heights. He's a high-level enchanter. Karma, divine providence, etc., but it also wouldn't surprise me if all these malicious assholes who spent years tormenting and trying to make a retarded person lose it for content opened themselves up to demonic possession. Wouldn't surprise me. Chris consistently wished for revenge, then stopped about the time he went tranny. It wouldn't surprise me if this demon was seeking revenge for him on his behalf. This is why I come here to get informed. Thanks dude, really. That's just tragic. Damn, you are right, this shit is fucked up, freaking morbo. You seen how this went viral, and I myself feel a sick need to look for more gossip/opinion videos about this shit. Freaking demons. I never understood why people thought it was funny to torment an autistic man anyway. I say that if this is the consequences of that, so be it. He will never be a woman. Of course, Anon. My autism has brought me to great heights, Anon. As long as you're not ugly and weird, it can be a boon. What's interesting is I saw that account had made this post I think around May 2nd or 3rd. So this was a while before Rekieta. Still not 100% sure on the timeline for Ian and Ethan. Ethan Ralph also touched one. I would like to highly encourage people to convince these Ecelebs who treat it as a joke to just destroy the thing. Make a joke or content out of it, fine, but they need to get lit up before it gets worse. Do you really want Ecelebs to be safe? It's true. I have more connections to Chris than I'm comfortable admitting. We both wrote to Disney magazines and had our fanfics published, we both were on game shows, we both won Sega products, we probably even met before as children. Different. Granted, I never gave up my principles but am autistic as well. Not nearly as autistic, clearly. I don't hate or like Chris. I try not to think about him too much and just see his story as a sad one, letting himself be directed by malevolent agents. Kiwi Farms was a cesspit that made 4chan look well adjusted by comparison. He's a streamer, really. Who is even watching and paying him? Trolls wouldn't spend a cent, let alone give him enough to live off. I took a look at this last night and posted my thoughts on /poll/. I'll repeat what I found when I looked. First, I'd been watching Nick off and on since Deb. I could him balanced, re the way he managed the lawsuit debacle, compassionate, proud of his family/wife, witty, naughty, and overall entertaining. I found his toasts to be very good for off the cuff. He was a loyal friend. I had not seen him for ages. When the lad started posting he'd been arrested along with my stream on Nick's last stream, I was floored. He looked a right hot mess. Clearly drunk AF, his energy was jangly, almost as if he wasn't in there. They talked about the Sonichu Medallion and I saw the bit where he opened it, read the chant and put it on. Then the right royal downfall began picking up steam. First, Chrischan did not curse this or write the curse or send it. He's not capable. In fact, such a thing seems likely to have been done to Chris. The parasite amplifies and pulls forward any thoughts it can harvest. I.e. Nick may have wondered now and then what it can be like to XYZ. The talisman would harness that and bring it forward. Almost haunting in a way, pressing and pressing until the thought is acted on. Nick was obviously using something else. He'd gotten into degenerate sexual behaviors. This is a big win for the parasite energy. But was he stupid enough to have that much drugs in his house? With the guns. He knows the law. When I followed the attachment cord, at a distance is hard, holding the thing or being in front of Nick would be better. All I could see is a woman behind as if she's manipulating others to do her dirty work for her. Not sure if this makes sense. I can't make out much. She's got long hair that in the image was blonde, but she might not always be blonde. This woman is a nasty. She's covered in jealousy, vengeance, anger, rage. She's got a substance issue herself but blames it on some trauma, I should add, real or imagined. So I looked at the circumstances of the bust. This part is strange. So I ask, is it possible someone placed something to be found and called the police? How did the police get involved? I know he had an arrangement with his locals re the constant swatting. I know you can make big judgment errors when using. But this one seems a bridge too far. Is there one woman who could have had it in for all the recipients of the Sonichu? Including Chrischan? It takes some skill to bind an entity to an object. This wasn't some dime store curse. The minute I saw him open that and read that paper, burnt just right. My blood froze. The minute he put that on and read that curse, he proved that joking about such things is stupid AF. Most of the time it's harmless, but this person had some skills. I don't know everyone in the sphere at all. It's not the blonde woman in the hobby, I don't think. It could have been meant as a get-in-the-pants talisman, but that wasn't my first impression. The first impression was intent for total ruin. Thoughts? It wasn't just that he had autism, he also made shitty comics, weird videos, and had an overinflated ego. I think above all what made Chris such a large target is that at the time it was super easy to get a reaction out of him, which caused people to want to up the ante. One added thought. Nick is now heavily cored to this entity/energy. To say it's got its claws into Nick, and also his wife, is putting it lightly. This one isn't going to go easy. I know he can't talk now, but if he doesn't take responsibility for what he was doing, then what he wasn't doing hardly matters. The parasite is going to have a feast. I hope his kids are safe. with fire, not with a fire. Either way both mean the same. Brain T. Moo Ogan Thunda strikes again. You didn't mention Hexa, VTuber lady who lost all her assets and shit, 10k, required for her job gone, owes the IRS 6.5k and PayPal has blocked giving her streaming revenue. Just how powerful is Chris? Only rivaled by Bundi Chug, an effigy of Zapar who represents the spirit inhabiting the Antichrist. Chris is nothing more than the ideal vessel for negative entities, energy parasites. He's the unintentional middleman between humans and the demonic. That one is easy. He actually was a virgin till he met Anastasia, aka one of the few women who gave him attention, and he quickly submitted to her and adopted her ideals and worldview and also abandoned his old audience in favor of mainstream woke appeal. Also, the cool old iDubbz was just an internet persona and he was always a weak-willed edgy nerd. She's the demiurge and she's a good girl. Interesting. It's real sad, but an artist I know has recently started editing some existing pictures of Sonic, and I see it as red flag because while I don't know the guy well, the whole Sonic thing seems to have come from out of left field. He never mentioned to have liked Sonic games. Representation of infinity for an artist is like infinite grace to them. Sonic just works. You're not onto something, you're just spend too much time on Twitter. Chris was hovered by legit sociopaths, they even found a way to spin it in their favor. It almost got a Hollywood touch, the drama really draws you in. LMAO don't relate shit with other shit that happens simply because it is purely personal. Sonic itself might be the curse. Sonic somehow manages to draw in the most autistic and deranged people I've ever had the displeasure of reading about. The lazy boomers of Virginia are to blame for Chris. Nobody wanted to acknowledge mental health as a real thing cause yeehaw that shit's retarded and then he raped his mom, good going Ruckersville. Chris's life is so fucking tragic that it is filtered. I don't know what a person did in his life to deserve all the shit that happened to him. But honestly I think there is something really scary about his surroundings. Why would iDubbz be a virgin? He's functional socially and has normie tier good looks. His pastor called the police, they had a warrant to enter the house. And yes, Nick would keep that much in his house, he's arrogant and thinks he's untouchable. Celebrities keep playing around. Normal people dismiss it as just a joke and won't take it seriously. Innocent humans will get hurt trying to imitate their idols. Spent most of my time on pole during the Trump era, got addicted to drugs, outgrew both but still love the greater 4chan community, so here I am, ha ha ha. More and more I'm starting to believe there actually is something fucky and supernatural going on with Chris and Sonichu. The sheer amount of evil deeds and misfortune that has haunted this small community of Ecelebs is way too much imo. Considering a lot of the people who were fucking with Chris even in the early days had a ton of problems, I really believe there's something attached to him that's dragging down everyone who associates with him, even with the trolls. I mean, if weird community meme magic is real, it stands to reason the person who birthed Lolcows is gonna be pretty fucking cursed. It's like Medallion forces you on the kiwi farms or something. At least it checks out with the YouTuber examples, not with the Sui pic. No way that someone planted that shit. I think that Nick has escalated to the point where he's a minor dealer, or at least he's probably the source for the kind of drug user who thinks they're too good to go to the hood to buy hard drugs. He unironically lives off Kiwi trolls, they donate just enough for him to survive and provide LOLs. These people tend to not be imprisoned for their crimes. Look at Daniel Larson for example. He used to get out frequently while being a known pedophile and aggressor. He'd abuse his mom and got kicked to the street. There's also a video of him assaulting a small girl on Reddit. Both get the Manson treatment in where they get to run around doing whatever the fuck for some reason then incriminated. It's some kind of public distraction imop, it's low-tier media content mixed with social experimentation. Where's the posters who have the scoop on Chris's dad? Also that one Masonic looking photo of him. Also, why does no one ever explain the origin of that picture? Where the fuck is he? Do card stores all have that demonic checkered floor? And why the fuck did he pose like that? HRMMMM, it's almost as if the internet culture of negativity and fixating on other people's misfortune attracts the dregs of society and is bad for your own life. Groundbreaking stuff. Chrischan is probably cursed to bring misery to himself and all others around him. I mean, look at his life, it comes across as demonic in nature. Those medallions will bring demonic attention to you, I tell you. And Tupatuber from Planet Dolan. She did a commission for Chris, then shitted on Chris. Her life went downhill after. The cursedism strong in these one. Only sports t-shirt can protect you from the curse. Energetic drinks may be used to harm the demon.
Like, share, subscribe and be sure to check the notification bell. Follow the Atomic Shaman on Twitter at Motel and RV Park. Listen to Paranormal Green Text Stories on Atomic Shaman TTS on YouTube. Catch the live streams of Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge only on Rumble.